in that house with the seriousness it deserves to be given.
Dave, I want to move from centering the conversation on just this, what's happening in our parliament. Generally, when you look at our parliament, you study the Fourth Republican dispensation, there's been a deterioration of the quality the House has produced over the years. And I trace the problem to the Constitution. If you look at it, almost every state CEO, mostly when the government does the 8 years, want to go into parliament. Why? So today, when you go to the MPP, Ghana Publishing, he contested. His deputy contested. You go to YEA, he contested. Deputy contested. UGI Communication contested. His deputy, Jefferson Saki, contested. When you go to Ghana Museum, the guy went to Etiwa, he contested. The mortuary guy, the mortuary funeral home association president, he contested at Empire. So pick every sector. Almost everybody is contesting.
We have Gideon Boako and Co. also contesting.
All of them. Why? When government wins, the Constitution says 51% must come from Parliament. So they will do whatever to go to Parliament, not necessarily to serve, but to catch the eye of the president and get a bigger position, because the ministerial salary is bigger than the salary of the MPs. That's where contracts are brokered. That's why the contractors will come and see them. That's where the procurement officers will come and see them. That's where they will make the money. So generally, beyond this issue, our parliamentarians has never represented our interests. I have lived at least in 4 different constituencies. I was born in the Kede constituency. I lived 20 years of my life in New Javan South. I had MPs like Hakman Owusu-Agyemang. I had BB. Then I had Marcus Ibe-Yabua. The only MP who I was home and came had conversation with me was Marcus Ibe-Yabua. I lived in Subin under Eugene Boachientwi. I've never seen him before in my house. I've never been called into a meeting to consult me that, oh, we are passing this budget. We want to bring this policy. What do you think about none? Nothing. I've lived in Oferukom, Dr. Mafo, none. So, generally, our members of parliament do not even consult us. We have a RIF system where it is the interest of the political party that prevails at the end of the day, not the interest of the people. So for me, all that is happening in parliament is raising issues about constitutionality, is raising issues about status quo that you said. And I think that listening to Bagman, he said that what is happening today will cause a lot of, for lack of a better, tectonic shift in how our governance architecture is done. I think that the bookmakers and those who matter must look at some of these things and use what is happening now to cause a change in that architecture.
Do you sincerely believe that there will come a time where parliamentarians would represent their constituents and represent them well enough than representing, let's say, in quotes, their party?
Yeah, Dave, so I made a mistake. No, Hackman was New Javan North, man was New Javan South, so that would be Abema, Honorable Abema. Your question again?
So what I'm asking is, we vote these parliamentarians to go represent our interests in parliament. But when they go into parliament, they put their parties first. I'm asking that, is it really possible that there will come a time, a day, where they will say, well, I belong to this party. I have leadership who are keeping us in line. But I'm thinking of the Amenu in my constituency. And that this, if I should support or say, let's pass this bill, will not support that person. So no, I'm not going to fall in line.
I think that we will never get there, because as the Constitution said, when you read the contentious article of Article 99, is it 97 or 99? I forgot. 99. It talks that they are sponsored on the ticket of the political party. So there will never come the time, for example, I usually say I work in the multimedia group. So if I go anywhere, it is deemed that I'm a representative of the multimedia group. So we can never have a divorce of that thing happening. But we must get to a time where it is not always the interest of the party that rules supreme when it comes to decision making.
How do we get there?
We will get there when the political parties understand this, because the political parties themselves do not understand it. For example, when the NDC wanted to change the leadership of parliament, you remember what happened? The members of parliament felt they were disrespected. They felt that it doesn't lie in the mouth of Fifi Kwete and the Sedun Keta to come and tell her who will lead us in parliament. They themselves were matured men and women who've led lives in their professional and political lives and knew who can lead them. And remember the scaffold that happened, even in the MPP.
Yeah, with Chairman Sabusu.
Exactly. So it tells you that the members of parliament themselves feel that there's an overreaching hand from the political party that need to be tamed or that need to be checked. So it is for them to let their parties know that yes, though we are sponsored by you, and ordinarily we will not win the seat if not the political parties on whose ticket we are going. But you have a limit to which you can go, and that limit is because we are representatives of the people, and the first interest of us is what our people are saying. That is it.
Would you say we had a good chance in the Fomena one, the second Deputy Speaker of Parliament? Because he went independent, was voted for, gets into Parliament and aligns with the NPP. Now he's going to contest on the ticket of the NPP. Question is, if he had, as he won as an independent candidate, he went there and represented the people as him. Others would also say, fine, if we would have independent candidates come through who think first about the constituents rather than the party, then let's go and give the opportunities to independent candidates. Would you say that would have helped in a way?
I don't know what the people of Fomena benefited from that situation, but I know the gentleman in the arena benefited. At least he became second deputy speaker.
Yeah.
At least he was promised that there will not be a contest. He will go on the ticket of the MPP. He's not the first time. Shaba did it in Koko. Jose also did it in Bekwai. It's not the first time. Mostly the profiteers of that endeavor are the men in the arena, the candidates themselves. I don't know what really the people of Fomena have benefited from it. But for me, that's why I disagree with anybody who says that this hung parliament has delivered. It hasn't. The dividend that some of us expected this hung parliament to bear hasn't delivered, because there was too much partisanship. You see, David, I always say that neutrality is for cowards. Let's be objective. I say to my political framework, everything, I'm mostly center right. But you see, you cannot tell me an inflation of 54% is better than an inflation of 15.6%. When I agree that is a realms of madness, in clear language, I'm not thinking straight. So you may be center right, you may be center left, but let's be objective. This parliament hasn't done so because there's been too much interest. David, beyond even this, David, the quality of representation we are getting in our parliament is another discussion. You listen to argument on the floor and how is this person winning elections? How is this person winning elections? David, I'm very young, but I read Hansas of the second, third parliament. In fact, even the last parliament, most people have forgotten. When we read the last parliament, the quality of representation we had. And I think that we need to look at it. We also need to look at attrition rate of the parliament.
But do the citizens themselves really understand